Valenzuela learners. I am Sir Joseph, teacher in charge from Punturing Senior High School, your live streaming teacher for this day on disaster readiness and risk reduction subject. Before we start, allow me to give you a few reminders. First, you have to find a quiet place which are free from any distraction. Second, get your study space a few minutes before the class. Third, make sure your internet connection and gadgets are working properly. Fourth would be you have to listen attentively and follow the instructions that I will be giving. Next is to use the comment section below for class-related matters only. And lastly, enjoy learning! Today, we will be discussing Week 2, which is all about Geological Map and Mitigation Plan. And in this learning engagement, we will focus on the following learning competencies. First is to interpret geological map and apply mitigation strategies to prevent loss of lives and properties. Also in this lesson, you are expected to interpret legends seen in geological maps and identify mitigation strategies in your area. Before we proceed, let us recall your concept of hazard map. Do you still remember its definition from the last quarter? Very good. Hazard map is a map that highlights areas that are affected or vulnerable to a certain particular hazard. Very good. I am very much happy that you can still remember the concept of hazard map. Let us continue our brains working with this brain activity I have prepared for this morning. This activity is called 4 Picks, 1 Inference. For this activity, you will be using sets of pictures to identify the term that is being described. Are you ready? Let us start. But before that, let me first discuss to you what is an inference. An inference is a conclusion reached on the basis of evidence and reasoning. So for this activity, as I have mentioned, you will be using the sets of pictures as your evidence to identify the item or term that is being described. So are you ready now? Here is the first picture. It is a 3-letter word which described as a diagrammatic representation of an area of land or sea. Your 5 seconds starts now. Time's up. What is your answer? Yes, it's a map. That is correct. For the second set of picture, this is a 9-letter word which refers to a person who is expert in studying Earth's physical structure and substance. Your 5 seconds starts now. Time's up. What is your answer? The answer is geologist. That is correct. Let us continue with the next set of pictures. It is a 6-letter word which describes rifts, valley, where the crest has been stretched or faulted. Your 5 seconds starts now. Time's up. What is your answer? Correct. False. And for the last one, here is the set of picture. It is a 10-letter word that describes the act of reducing the severity, seriousness, or painfulness of something. Your 5 seconds starts now. Time is up. What is your answer? Correct. Mitigation. I am very much happy and I would like to congratulate you for a job well done. Thank you very much for your cooperation. The correct answers from the previous activity are related to our today's discussion. Are you now excited to learn these concepts? What are you waiting for? let us keep the slides playing. What comes to your mind when we speak of maps? Probably things like cities, roads, mountains, and lakes. Maps are very helpful because they show us where things are located. There are lots of kinds of maps, such as street maps, census maps, contour maps, or even geological maps. Do you know what geological map is? Are you familiar with this? Well, to give you an idea, geological map represents the expression on the Earth's surface of the underlying geological strata. Also, a geological map shows the distribution of various types of bedrock or thick sediments in an area. It usually consists of topographic map, which is overlain by shaded or colored polygons that shows where different rock units occur at or just below the ground surface. We will discuss later what are the meaning of colors and symbols that we commonly see in geological map. Let us continue with the next slide. This day, I would like to orient you with the meaning of geological interpretation. Geological interpretation is the compilation and synthesis of all available geological information in order to get an as precise as possible model of the mineral resources. These are commonly being used for several purposes. What now are the uses of geological maps? Geological maps represents the distribution of different types of rocks and mineral deposits, as well as the locations of geological structures such as faults and folds. Geological maps are the primary source of information for various aspects of land use planning, including the setting of buildings and, of course, transport system. This time, we will talk how these geological maps are made. So, a geologist in the field firstly record the nature of rock where it is visible at the surface. Rock outcrops are examined and characteristics such as rock composition, internal structure, and fossils are recorded. By using these details, different units can be distinguished as shown separately on the base rocks. Then rock outcrops again are examined and characteristics such as rock compositions, internal structure, and fossil structures are again being recorded. By using these details, different units can be distinguished and shown separately on the base map. Different geological units can be identified using different legends. And these legends are colors, letters, lines, and shapes or symbols. First are the colors. It represents the different geological units, which are the types of rock formation of certain age. As you may recall, younger rock sits on the top of older rock because older rock was laid down first and provided a place for younger rock to call home. So, not all rocks in our geologic maps are going to be of the same age, even if they are of the same type. And both age and type are identified by the different colors. You can also see capital letters in a geological map, which represent the geological period or geological unit. Geological map may also use lines and symbols. Different lines represent different features on the map. For example, a geological contact, which are commonly represented by thin lines. Geological contact are boundaries which separate one rock body from another form. Next are the folds. These are stacks of originally planar surfaces, such as sedimentary strata, that are bent or curved during permanent deformation. Folds are commonly being represented by thick lines. While faults is a structure or zone fracture between two blocks of rocks. Faults is represented by a thicker line. To continue, I would like to test your knowledge of our previous discussion. I would like you to answer the following questions and comment down below the letter of your choice. After reading the question, you will be given 5 seconds in typing your answers on the comment section. Are you now ready? Okay, let me display to you the first question. It is the boundary that which separates one rock from another. A. Faults. B. Geological map. C. Folds. D. Hazard. Your 5 seconds starts now. Time is up, and the correct answer is letter B. Geological contact. Did you get the correct answer? Very good. Now let's proceed with the second question. It represents geological strata or geological period, of the geological unit in a geological map. A. Color. B. Lines. C. Letters. Or D. Symbols. Your 5 seconds starts now. And the correct answer is letter C. Did you get the correct answer? Great job! This time we will be answering question number 3. It represents the expression on Earth's surface of the underlying geological strata. Is it A. Hazard map, B. World map, C. Philippine map, or D. Geological map? Your 5 seconds starts now. Time is up. The correct answer is letter D. Geological map. Did you get the correct answer? Great! Congratulations, everyone! We are done with the first half of our discussion for this morning. Now, we will be moving forward to another topic, which is mitigation. Last quarter, we discussed how disaster is described as a result of the combination of several things, such as the exposure to a hazard and its capacity to cope with to reduce negative impact, and lastly, vulnerability. Now, we will be focusing on disaster management only, or the strategic planning and procedure that administered and employed to protect critical infrastructure. Disaster management aims to reduce or avoid the potential losses from hazard, assures prompt and appropriate assistance to victims of disaster, and achieve rapid and effective recovery. Disaster management have 4 thematic phases, as shown in this diagram. These thematic phases are named as mitigation, preparedness, response, and recovery. But for today, we will be only focusing on the first 2 phases, the prevention and mitigation phase. What is your knowledge about mitigation? I would like to enlighten you with its definition. Mitigation is the reduction of something harmful and the reduction of its harmful effects. It may refer to a measure taken to reduce the harmful effects of hazard that remain in potential or to manage harmful incidents that have already occurred. Mitigation measures include building codes, vulnerability analysis updates, zoning and land use management, building use regulation and safety codes, preventive health care, and public education. As part of our country's mitigation planning, they developed or established an act that will strengthen the Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction Management that provides national disaster risk reduction and management framework. Further, this institutionalized the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Funds, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes. This is known as Republic Act 1021 or 121, also known as Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction and Management System or Management Act of 2010. Now that you have background on disaster preparedness, especially on mitigation, I would like you to examine your barangay and identify what are the different mitigation programs are being implemented. I will be giving you 30 seconds to examine your barangay respectively. Your 30 seconds starts now. Again, as I have mentioned, you will be examining your own or respective barangay, and I would like you to identify what are the different mitigation programs that they implement. I would like and request you to comment down your answers. Okay, time is up. Some of the mitigation plan and programs that barangay officials are commonly implementing are as follows: flood control measures, tree planting, and of course, solid waste management program. Did you have the same programs implemented in your barangay? Thank you very much for your cooperation. This time, my dear learners, for your assessment, I would like you to answer the following questions and comment down below the letter of your choice. I will be reading the question and you will be given 5 seconds in typing your answers on the comment section. Are you ready? Let us start. The first question: what Republic Act has an objective to strengthen the Philippine Risk Reduction and Management System? Is it A, Republic Act 10112? Letter B, Republic Act 10131? Letter C, Republic Act 10121? Or letter D, Republic Act 10132? Your 5 seconds starts now. And the correct answer is letter C, Republic Act 10121. Did you get the correct answer? Great job! Let's proceed with the next question. This is a fracture or zone of fracture between two blocks of rocks and represented by a thicker lines. A, color. B, contacts or contact. C, folds. Or letter D, C, folds, and letter D, folds. Your 5 seconds starts now. And the correct answer is letter D. Did you get the correct answer? Excellent. Let us try the third question. This aims to reduce or avoid the potential losses from hazard. A, exposure. B, disaster management. C, research management. Or letter D, vulnerability. Your 5 seconds starts now. Time is up. The correct answer is letter B. Did you get it right? Good job! Now let's proceed with the last question. It is the reduction of something harmful or the reduction of its harmful effects. A, mitigation. B, preparedness. C, response. Or letter D, recovery. Your 5 seconds starts now. And the correct answer is letter A. Did you get it right? Well done. It seems like you have a deep understanding on our topic for this day. Great job, class. Again, Let us try to have a recap with of our discussion for this day. First is the geological map. This means that it represents the expression on Earth's surface of underlying geological strata. The indicators or legends that help us read geological maps are as follows: colors, letters, lines, and symbols. And lastly, mitigation. It is the reduction of something harmful or the reduction of its harmful effect. I would like to end this presentation or our lesson for this morning with a quote stated by Ban Ki-moon. And he said that we cannot eliminate disaster, but we can mitigate risk. We can reduce damage, and we can save more lives. My dear learners, this is our only home, the only planet suitable for habitation. So what are you going to do to sustain it? Learners, if you have any question or clarification of today's lesson, you may politely ask your respective subject teachers. That's all for today. Again, I am Sir Joseph A. Tanagan, the teacher in charge of Punturin Senior High School, your live streaming teacher for this day. Thank you and keep safe. Bye everyone!